signed up for this new service called Cutoff a few months ago. It's really neat stuff. Essentially, once a day I receive an unmarked tape in the mail. They're supposed to be a mystery, but I like to label them as something like Mary Generator, Thomas Drill, or Mark 38 Special. Or something. Bare bones, I know, but it distinguishes well enough. Makes it easier to sort my catalog. But the thing about cut-off tapes is that they're meant to keep you thinking. I'm not some sort of pervert looking to get my rocks off or anything because I'm not seeing any actual death. It's just a neat little piece of art to finish off my day with. Susan Hammer is today's tape. She walks through the halls of a hospital, checking in on her patients and doing, well, hospital stuff. I don't care enough about Susan to learn that much about her line of work, to be honest. She stops by the grocery store to pick up some things on her way home afterwards. Recognizing someone named either Mary or Annie, hard to tell, the audio's always a bit muffled. And chatting up a storm in the process. After that whole ordeal is finally over, the date can finally get to the good stuff. Susan makes popcorn, sits down in a recliner, and starts watching Seinfeld on her old box television. She doesn't see the man behind her chair. Cut-off tapes never show the impact, just everything before. You just hear the sound of it all while a picture of the tool used in the recording process pops up on the screen. Like I said, gets the juices flowing. But the strangest thing, that all being said, I want more. I want to hear Susan and her hammer. I want to watch. I want to meet the people in charge of production. God, I want to help create some of this art. So finally, I tracked them down through the return address, and lucky me, it's right where they filmed Michael Hacksaw. I like to shake his hand when I meet the genius who came up with this stuff because it's really something special. Would avant-garde work here? I feel like it would, but I've never been one of those cinephile types. It's empty. Nobody's there, nothing. Not even a fucking stain on the ground to show some semblance of appreciation for how much dedication I've had for these films. Day in and day out, I watch these tapes, and all I get is a 2-hour waste of gas money in return. But I see that I have a new tape at my doorstep when I get home, and I can't help but watch it, nonetheless. Old habits die hard, right? And when I turn on the television, I can see myself pulling out of the driveway. You give a man a fish, the grandfather said, and you feed him for a day. But if you teach him to fish, well then, my sweet lass, you feed him for a lifetime. That's silly, the granddaughter replied. Why are all your stories about men? The grandfather chuckled. I don't rightly know. Maybe it's because I'm from another time. I think you should have taught a woman to fish. Then she could have fed her whole family for a lifetime. Maybe her neighbors too. He chuckled again. You're probably right about that. 'Twas likely a man who first told the story. The pair came out of the woods at the edge of the old family pond, the same pond where he and his kin had fished for generations. They walked out onto the pier and gazed across the cool water, smooth as mirrored glass. Now and dusk are the best times of day to fish, when it's cool and calm, the grandfather said. That's when the little fishies like to feed. What about the big fishies? Do they like to feed when it's cool and calm too? Aye, they do. He set the bait bucket on the pier between them. You remember what I taught you about putting bait on the hook? Yes, sir. You said to be careful not to stick my own finger, 'cause it would be hard to get it out. Aye. Go on, then. Put some bait on my hook. The granddaughter reached into the bucket, pulled out a piece of bait, and meticulously put it on her grandfather's hook. Careful not to pierce her own finger. Once done, he cast his line out over the water and let it fall near a gathering of stumps. Are you sure you don't want a pole? He asked. No, I like watching you fish. Are you sure? She nodded. Maybe next time. He nodded back, not wanting to rush the girl. Will it take long? She asked. Patience, dear. We just got here. You know what they say about patience, don't you? She shook her head. Patience is a virtue. You know what a virtue is? Of course. Virtues are things you pretend to have at parties. The grandfather chuckled again. I'll give you that. Just then, the grandfather's cork began to bob. Then it shot down hard beneath the water's surface. The grandfather yanked back on his pole, and his line, clean hook and all, came flying out of the water. He brought the hook near to his granddaughter's face so she could see it was clean. That's what happens when you don't secure the bait, he said. Go on, get another, and make sure you attach it tight. I'm sorry. She reached into the bucket and pulled out another piece of bait and gave it a good look. Grandfather, this one still has a ruby ring on it. Should I leave it on? No, ma'am. Take the ring off and put it in your pocket. Rubies are good luck. Funko Pops. I've always collected those for as long as I can remember. My collection was up in the hundreds, different sizes, types, and fandoms next to one another against my wall. Every day before I went to bed, I gave them a quick glance. It caused me to go to bed smiling while admiring them all. Yet, today was different. As always, I got ready for bed and went to my room. But when I glanced at my collection, it was unlike anything I've ever seen before. The boxes were empty. I looked around frantically with chills running down my spine. Then I felt a soft nudge against my elbow. I turned around slowly whilst shaking, and that's when I saw them. All the pops were melted into one another. It didn't have much of a shape aside from a big mouth and hands. Unbeknownst of what to do, I started taking a few steps back. I tried to reach my phone. 911 wouldn't believe me in the slightest. But maybe it could scare the monster? My hand reached out to my phone. It was within hand's reach. Before I could grab it, I felt drool on my head. Looking up, I saw the monster with his mouth open. Soon, I would be swallowed whole and turned into a Funko Pop. Unable to speak, move, or die. Stuck for eternity. Mommy, please make it stop. The butterflies in my stomach are too much. I want it to end now. Everything's all right, sweetheart. You're such a big girl, and Mommy's so proud of you. I don't like this ride anymore. I'm not feeling good, Mommy. Mommy's right here by your side, honey. We've been on plenty of rides together, and it's always been okay, right? But this ride is different, Mom. I think we went on a big kid ride by mistake. It's so fast and bumpy. Can you please ask the man to stop it? I just want to get off. Baby, I can't ask him to stop the ride. He's very busy right now, and it wouldn't be fair to everyone else here on the ride to stop just for us. Hold my hand, honey. I'm right here with you. But Mommy, I think they all want the ride to end too. Look at everyone screaming, and some people are crying, Mom. That's what people do on rides, baby. They scream and cry, but it's all in fun. Like when we went on the teacups, and you were screaming, remember? Just hold my hand tight, hun. I'm here with you, baby. Okay, Mommy, but can I take this mask off, please? The butterflies in my stomach are too strong. I think I'm going to throw up, Mom. No, baby. Don't take it off. You have to keep your mask on. That's the rules. The people around us have them on, right? And I have mine on too, right? The mask will keep you safe, honey. Just please keep it on and keep breathing. Mommy, it's going way too fast now. Please make it stop. Please, please, please. I'm so scared. I know, honey, but keep being my brave little girl. It'll be over soon, and Mommy's right here with you. I love you so much, baby. I love you too, Mommy. Mommy, you were right. I think the ride is almost over. We're getting closer to the ground. Attention passengers, please access the flotation device under your seat. Brace for impact. I knew my daughter, and so I knew when she was upset. I knew when she came home from school with tears staining her face. I knew why she never seemed to look at me nicely anymore. It's her eyes. There was something wrong with them. Her eyes were poisoned, sick, diseased. She wasn't herself anymore. It explained everything. The eyes made her tears. It was those fucking eyes that made her drift farther and farther apart each day. I had to cure her. So, I sat her down and told her there was a problem with her eyes. Why else could she be so distant? Then, she said something that I didn't quite hear because the eyes were blocking it out. I couldn't hear my sweet daughter's voice anymore, just her eyes screaming in faint whispers of being bullied at school, getting really bad, sorry for being distant. But those were lies. I knew I had to get rid of her eyes to truly cure her. And so I did. Now, she lies in my attic, chained to the wall. Her eyes are gone, though. Every day, I come to visit her, and she begs for her sight. But I can't give her her sight back. I'm keeping the eyes glued to my ceiling, so she can never look away from me again. After all, I know my daughter, and this is what she needs. Hello, spooky crew. I hope you enjoyed this week's collection of spooky TikTok stories. If you're interested in checking the stories out, they are linked down below. If you want to check out any of my other socials, or you would like to see the actual TikTok videos for yourself, they are down below. And as always, stay spooky and stay glamorous. And I will see you guys in the next one.